weaving in synthetic thread that is very slippy and has a mind of its own. You can do this with a crochet hook or a needle, wool needle. I'll show you with a wool needle here. I have two types of thread that I used for this. I use this cotton, this navy. It's a cotton, so it's got a lot of tooth to it and it's got a lot of grab. And I used this silvery white synthetic thread, which has zero grab. It is so slippery. Now, because this is so slippery and the actual fabric is so slippery, I'm going to do this slightly differently. First of all, I tug it down so that it's fully inside that, any knot that's there, it's fully inside that stitch. Because it's so slippery, I don't want to simply run it across as I would if it was wool or pure cotton or even a synthetic or acrylic yarn that had a lot of tooth to it. So instead, I'm going to be going and mirroring some of these stitches. So I'm going to go around the base there. I'm going to go in through those two there. I'm not worried about mirroring them exactly. I'm just wanting to mirror some of the strength of this stitch pattern, which by me doing this, I'm effectively creating a back stitch all along here. Now, you have to make sure you don't pull it tight because it is a back stitch and you don't want that to actually gather that bit of crochet along here. But I am wanting as much strength as is possible. Same thing, because I want as much strength as is possible, I turn the needle. So I'm now sewing with the back and go in again. Now, because I want to hide the end, I'm just going to run it straight across. It's already secured. I'm now just wanting to hide that end the last little way. I put my thumb at that point beyond those back stitches so that they don't tighten unnecessarily. Pull it all the way through and then you pull the crochet so that the end fully disappears. And that's the cotton one. Now to do the synthetic one. Same thing, thread the needle. It wants to untwist itself. Now, I've only got a little tail here, so I'm going to very quickly try and get strength in this weaving it off. So down in there, and then I'm looking for the kind of most knotty bits of the crochet to weave it in through. So through and down and up and around, and I'm just taking it every which direction so that it's got the least chance possible of coming undone. Now that's with a wool needle, it's already come off. I could thread this again and do the same thing that I showed you with the cotton, but I want to just show you with the crochet hook weaving this through for the last little bit. So same thing, now it's secured, I'm just going to go through. I'm making sure to go under as many stitches as I can, and then in. I'm going to start to angle down a little bit here. It doesn't really matter which direction you go, you're just wanting to kind of blend it into the fabric. Often that means going straight across underneath the rows, but if you want to travel down, you're more than welcome to. As you can see, I am here. I'm going down and in all sorts of different directions. I want to go this way. Now, if I go through there, which is what I'd like to do, you can see how short that is. It's likely to pop out very quickly. So I'm going to make it disappear by taking it straight across, and then it can do its own thing. The other thing to note is this is on the inside that I'm finishing this off, so that if the end does pop out a little bit like that, it doesn't matter. It's on the inside. It's not going to be super visible. And if it bothers you, you can then just either trim that last centimetre, or you can just weave it back in again if it decides to show its head later on. All the way. There we go. End has disappeared. And for this last little one, just taking it down and down. I'm just looking for random-ish paths that it can follow so that it will disappear. You don't want to take it in completely contrary to the crochet pattern, because if you do that, you're likely to go, hang on a minute, there's a thread that's going, wee, why is there a thread that's doing something like that? And it becomes more noticeable. So there we go. Threads are all woven in. Now for the buttons.